I'd like to go to Deborah Kostroun down at the New York Stock Exchange for a market update.
Well, thanks a lot, Keith. And you know what we saw today, a little bit of a mixed market on the day. By the close, the S&P was higher after the Federal Reserve suggested it plans to leave interest rates near the record lows. And in fact, after that Fed statement, what we did see the market really kind of getting a little bit of a lift. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, however, closing just a little bit lower. And money managers talking about the fact that the Federal Reserve will keep their policy of low interest rates because the recession was so deep. And with today's sign that rates will remain low, it is going to be bullish for stocks, that according to a lot of money managers. And banks certainly liking that news that interest rates will remain low. Also, a lot of the banks and the financials getting a lift, mainly the banks from some analyst upgrades. Financials definitely the clear winners in today's session in the S&P, in fact, closing at their highest since November of 2008. Taking a look at some of those regional banks, Credit Suisse saying that SunTrust Bank may be a takeover target for overseas financial companies, and also Regions Financial also gaining after its share price estimate was also lifted. And so, as you can see, some pretty good gains there. SunTrust Bank's up 3.5%, Regions Financial up 4.4%. Keith?
A lot of that, Deb, looks like there's a true hope in the marketplace that the Federal Reserve is going to do what they did in the Fed minutes, which are, of course, a month old now, and we've had a tremendous base of hawkish data since that. The other thing that was going on out there today, within the sphere of that growth or that hope trade, financials up, was consumer staples down. Did you see anything on that score today, Deb? We certainly did, and you're exactly right that since the actual minutes of from the Federal Reserve were actually written, we have seen a lot of really good economic numbers for manufacturing, and in fact, those consumer staples were the biggest drags on the S&P on the day, as money kind of flowing away from stocks that are so tied to the consumer. And a lot of the consumer staples generally include a lot of the retailers. It was kind of interesting today because the International Council of Shopping Centers saying that March sales at U.S. retailers probably jumped almost 3 times as much as previously anticipated because of the early Easter holiday and also warm weather boosting consumer spending. So what we did see, even with that fairly good news or hope of good news, we did see some money moving away from some of those consumer stocks. But overall, a lot of traders saying the momentum does remain positive because of the economic data of late. Very surprising to the upside. And also some traders saying that April tends to be a fairly good month from a seasonal perspective.